On August 27th, AEW's All In will emanate from Wembley Stadium with 80,000 plus fans. It will likely be the most attended paid wrestling show in history. And you may want to watch it, but need a refresher on who these people are, why the hype is so hype, or maybe even what AEW is. So, being respectful of your time. WWE only wrestling company for 2 decades, AEW starts in 2019, AEW good, not perfect, WWE in response getting better, not perfect, AEW does good wrestling, mostly good story, now does biggest show in history ever soon. Okay, let's start with the main event. Adam Cole, the challenger, used to be a traitorous, backstabbing bastard. After fighting off a career-threatening injury, he returns as who he is, a genuinely good person who wants to be here and make things better. MJF, the world's champion, is a traitorous, backstabbing bastard. But after showing signs of, if not totally reforming from, being a scumbag, he is at least being cheered as the audience's scumbag. He is showing us slowly who he is. A hurt person trying to make sense of his place in the world as a devil or maybe something more. MJF retained his prize in a 30-minute draw against Adam Cole, and then they were thrown into a blind tag team tournament together. And the usual trope in wrestling is, can these two singles challengers coexist as a team? And they never do. We move right back into the singles feud. Except this time, Adam Cole and MJF produced the most enjoyable wrestling segments of this summer. The two having perfect chemistry and doing numbers to such an extent their friendship continues even into a world title match in the main event of All In. And they will even open in the pre-show challenging Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. This beautiful friendship that began as mutual mistrust deepening the characters of both men. Adam Cole getting a bit of heel bite back in his good guy persona, and MJF gaining nuance and playing the role of a bad guy, playing the role of a good guy to perfection. We want to see these two remain as friends, not just because it's funny and entertaining, though it absolutely is, but because it feels like a story is developing each week on AEW, and it's just wonderful. But the signs are there. We know what Adam Cole was, and still maybe is, capable of. And we definitely know what MJF is capable of, and maybe more importantly, what he's fucking terrified of losing. And now, all that's left is Wembley.
Max, I love you, but I need to win this match more than you could ever imagine.
So Sting got to this moment after a legendary 25-plus year career, never getting a true moment in the sun as a legend in any company prior to AEW. This may not be Sting's literal final match, but it will be a celebration of a legend's career while keeping the spotlight on younger talent. You can't ask for more. Speaking of, Swerve got to this moment with a lengthy independent run, Shoutout Killshot, before making it to WWE, but due to poor management, never was given the chance to be who he is, a star. And right now, he's the most up-and-coming bad guy in the business, hands down, and only getting bigger and better as time goes on. AR Fox, a genuinely innovative veteran, is the reason a lot of guys have made it in the business, especially Washington natives like Swerve and Darby, and after being passed over by WWE for so long for no good reason, he will perform in front of the biggest crowd in wrestling history with 2 of his students and a legend. AR Fox made it. And finally, we have Darby Allin. I don't like that he's compared to Jeff Hardy, because while they for sure both have that it factor, Darby's fire is something very much unique to himself. Burning beautifully for a good time, not for a long time. And all 4 men are going to be determined to steal the show. Speaking of 4, the AEW women's division is actually amazing. Yes, the book behind the talent definitely needs work, but the talent is undeniable, and these 4 are proof of that. Especially the new world champion, and if you'll indulge me for a moment. I called this a month ago Galactic Champion, AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida, who carried the division on her back during the pandemic, will defend against the woman she beat just a few weeks ago, Toni Storm, whose current character can best be described as classic Hollywood starlet goes delightfully insane. Britt Baker, a former champion herself, who, lest we forget, did this, and Saraya, who, even if you're not a fan, is getting to perform for a hometown crowd after recovering from a career-threatening injury, and that is nice. But while some of them could still get booked, we are still missing Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Jade Cargill, Riho the Bunny, and especially Jamie Hayter in Wembley. The women need a second match on this show. Get well soon, Hayter.
FTR All In.
While not as of writing official, it's all but certain this match will make it on the card. Punk and Joe, after wrestling each other in front of hundreds in the early 2000s, will do it again in front of tens of thousands. It's a wonderful full circle moment for these two, and listen, as MJF put it in an interview with Ariel Helwani, I don't deal in rumor and innuendo. But CM Punk will have a chance to prove to the crowd that what he does physically in a ring is what matters, not the barbs and nonsense backstage between he and the Bucks. And give Punk especially the chance to show he's moved on. I hope he takes it. Anyway, video's getting kind of long, so let's explain this next one quickly. Oh bloody hell, there are too many talented people and awesome interconnected stories in this match to summarize succinctly. This is the crazy goddamn match with all the really good wrestlers who didn't have something more immediate going on that could be fit into this card. With 3 mystery partners to boot. With all that said, if previous Stadium Stampedes are anything to go by, well, Justin Roberts I know is for Anarchy in the Arena, but take it away.
Shit's about to hit the fan.
Kenny Omega frankly should have had a singles match at this show. I get why he doesn't. You save Ospreay for Wrestle Kingdom, Bryan is hurt, and you need Hangman on the show, so you make this a trios match. And frankly, it's gonna be really good regardless of my little whinging. Kenny and Hangman's tag team and singles feud, Kenny and Kota's romantic tragedy epic, Kota's ongoing rivalry with his own unreal pain tolerance. It's all going to make for a silly and fun trios match with Bullet Club Gold, sans the card blade, of course, and Don Callis' family rising star, tall, dark, and sexy, as Mox dubbed him, Konosuke Takeshita. And speaking of stars, Will Ospreay is almost certainly going to walk into a sold-out Wembley Stadium to his old theme song, elevated as IWGP United Kingdom champion against a living legend in Chris Jericho. As an aside, 80k people singing Judas followed by 80k people singing Elevated is gonna rule. But paintings aside, New Japan implications aside, Chris Jericho is going to get hidden bladed to death while a hometown crowd chants Ospreay, Ospreay, Ospreay. And that kind of summarizes this pay-per-view. Matches and build matter, but the sense of occasion makes this pay-per-view a must-see. AEW All In means more than just honoring the original All In or the origins of AEW, because we're 4 years deep and not looking back. AEW is not going anywhere. This show is proof of that. There is finally a staple alternative to WWE, and that is good for everyone. More jobs, more places to go. It's a win-win-win. And damn near, if not totally selling out Wembley, is a statement affirming all of that. AEW made it, and with this card, I genuinely believe it will be one of the greatest nights in the history of our sport. And now, all that's left is Wembley. Knock 'em dead, lads. I'll be watching. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Friday.